How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's a game 3. It's another game of Vega Squadron versus Na'Vi, and it's another game of Treant Protector. So I'm already, if you ask my feelings about this, the draft matchup so far, I'm already leaning towards Vega Squadron just because they have that hero.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts how much that hero has just taken over the pro scene as a whole. You see it in pubs. It just runs at you, punches you in the face, and then, goes away with a smirk on his face, I'm sure. What a butthead. But same openings, too.
You just can't take towers. He's so annoying. Magnus Ogre, though, I have to wonder, though, if they're going to go for the
5 seconds remaining.
The Deuce this time. Like, I think it was a great suggestion that you made last game. I think because of the Storm Spirit and the Weaver, it was a little less viable. But I think they this time around they could ban around it for that 5th ban. I'm not sure which hero is more important. I think it's maybe
10 seconds remaining.
The Storm, but we are gonna have a Troll this time around.
5 seconds remaining.
It kind of takes away from Na'Vi. There's no
reserve time.
No Ursa, no Troll. There's still PA, but I feel like that's easily the lesser of the top Empower carries. Like you've got Troll and Ursa, which are way far ahead, the 1-2. And then there was Lifestealer and Juggernaut, but I feel like both those heroes have kind of dropped off in the meta. And then there's PA, like she's like the 3rd tier of Empower carries. It's like
slightly behind Medusa.
Yeah, it's like I guess we have to pick this one up. All right.
I'm with you. I did see a game just yesterday when I was casting the China series, where it was eHome actually that ran the PA and went like the double dagger crit with it, which was kind of interesting because she got to level 25, and that looked kind of cool. But they did end up losing the game regardless, so I don't know if you can really take much from it, anyways.
I was about to say it sounds like one of those things that like sounds cool in theory, but then it doesn't actually do enough for you in the game.
I mean, they threw. Well, it was a rough game. Go watch the VODs, everybody, for my full sellout mode. But yeah, anyways, Juggernaut, stock and standard. They know what they want to do. It is against the Troll, which I feel like can sometimes be a bit of an issue, and an Axe. Like, aren't these two heroes that deal with Juggernaut really well?
Yeah, they absolutely are. Spin is completely unreliable now. You can't use this Juggernaut to... Like, best Juggernaut games are the games where you have a favorable matchup against an offlane hero, so you can kind of inhibit the offlaner's farm, and then you can also split push waves freely, where you could just always just spin TP and be good. But now you've got Entangle from Treant Protector, you've got the Bash from Treant Protector, you've got Axe's Call, you've got Troll's Bash as well. So all 3 of those heroes have something to be able to catch the Juggernaut when he's spinning. So that is not reliable. So I feel like they're going to utilize this Juggernaut more as sort of like a team fighting carry, and they're going to have more of a carry style mid. That I am like really set on. I don't think they're gonna do a Dending Magnus again. I think this is gonna be General's hero, and they're gonna pick up something like maybe the Dusa. They don't quite have the synergy with it. I guess they've got Ogre, but maybe the OD. I don't know, something like just a regular SF. I'm kind of hesitant about Invoker, just because I feel like he's not that strong of a hero right now.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a couple people about this. In fact, one of them was Blitza was actually the one who brought this up. And he said like Invoker
Na'Vi's turn to ban.
That's sad.
It doesn't feel like the hero that it used to be, I guess.
I mean, he had his heyday, but I think that there's always like a lot of fun with watching an Invoker game. Things just go wild on the screen and tornadoes are everywhere. It's
10 seconds.
It's a sad day to see him gone.
I think it's a caster favorite hero. Yeah. So like I think every caster I know, when there's like a mid left open, every caster's like, what about Invoker? We just all like seeing that hero. But Templars, I forgot about that hero. Good thing that was banned by Na'Vi. That would have been a great mid for Vega Squadron to have.
Dire team pick.
Afraid of that General Batrider potentially now, and the Shadow Shaman did come out as well, so objective taking potential here, as well as being able to defend their own, seems to be the name of the game for Vega Squadron. Again, 1 game away from moving on to an elimination match against Secret, and a spot at the Epicenter LAN would be huge for either of these teams.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm feeling a little nervous now, Lyrical.
I know.
Vega Squadron banned away the Bat Rider. Maybe they are going to give this to
Reserve time.
Dendi again. I'm not feeling it, but
See, if
We'll see.
I was Vega, I would let them do it and be like, yeah, let's go for it. Just try it again.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal or not.
let's see. There's
5
OD,
seconds
SF.
remaining.
I think we're looking for Bristleback.
Wow.
Damn,
Navi,
this hero's been
turn
an
to
NA
pick.
hero for a little while. And I think it's gonna get big. This Bristleback, every single time I watch it, it takes over games. It's hard to lane against for most of these heroes. It takes over like at 15 minutes, it starts taking over, and it doesn't
10
really let go
seconds
until like
remaining.
40. Like you push past 40 minutes, and then maybe Bristleback starts dropping off a
5
bit.
seconds
But
remaining.
he is just such a mid-game dominator that I think he
Reserve
works
time.
out to be an excellent mid, especially when you've got a better carry in the safe lane for you. So depending on the matchup, like if it's Magnus, then Bristleback is easily going to be a 1v1 at mid. I don't think there's many heroes that Bristleback doesn't want to face mid.
Yeah.
Like SF, for example, is a potential Navi pickup, but it doesn't do well against Bristleback. I don't think OD does super well. I'm sure it's just like kind of even between the
Yeah.
two of them.
You could try like maybe a Necro or something. That might be a play. It's tough. Like all of those things are a little bit rough at this point because again, you want to use that in power also.
Yeah. What's on Timbersaw? Yeah,
Ooh.
Timbersaw.
All right.
I think that was the most obvious Bristleback mid counter. So it's gonna be a Dendi Timbersaw should be, and then a general Magnus. Timbersaw is just kind of okay against Troll in the long run, but you needed something to be able to deal with Bristleback 100%. Like deal with the Bristleback first, and then think about the Troll later.
Yeah.
I think is kind of the philosophy you have to take against this last pick.
Well, and then the other thing too now is trying to figure out like you need to itemize to be able to keep these heroes in place too, because while their team fight is good, you have to commit like big spells to keep anybody in one spot, like Kinetic Field or Magnus's kit of RP or Skewer. All of these things, there's not like
10
that
seconds
nice
remaining.
inherent instant lockdown control, and it might be a problem
5
going forward.
seconds
Like
remaining.
Bristleback, he can just sometimes walk away from you, Timbersaw, and I don't know, maybe Atos or something. Atos maybe still isn't an item. I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is.
Yeah, I think Vega Squadron won the lineup. I think they won the draft. The Timbersaw was the best answer that Navi could have. And they could still easily outplay Vega Squadron because they have so many team fight abilities. They get the right RP into the Static Storm. Timbersaw cuts down the Bristleback, and the other heroes are going to fall like paper. So, they can still definitely beat this Vega Squadron lineup. But I think inherently Vega Squadron has an advantage. The Troll does feel like it's a carry that is going to go somewhat unanswered. Early on, they do have the Omni Slash. That's probably one of the better abilities that they have, combined with the pure damage of the Juggernaut. But later on to the game, I think Juggernaut just kind of like takes the damage and dishes out twofold.
All right. Well, we're going to have to see how it ends up going. Game number 3, all on the line. It's going to be the mid Bristleback. I think the first time that I saw this was Thunderbirds actually running it mid during the group stages for Kiev, if I'm not mistaken. That was when it really started to feel like it was coming out.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm sure I can say this right now. I think that was the impact of Eternal Envy as their coach.
Right.
He brought that hero to them because Eternal Envy was kind of experimenting with it before, and you could see he played a good amount of it in pubs in NA, and a lot of North American pubs have in turn picked up Bristleback a lot more because of Envy's impact, and then Thunderbirds running it and officials at Kiev and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the other heroes that comes out of Kiev looking, because the meta always still develops after a major,
Right.
Even if it remains kind of the same patch. So it's like those heroes they were talking about in Game 1, Templar Assassin. I think Bristleback's kind of like that it'll prove to be one of those heroes that takes over the meta potentially.
Oh, wow. Silent, I think, just baited a Sentry Ward mid. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he just walked
30
over there with
seconds to
what
battle.
looked like an empty slot while he was smoked up. They broke the smoke, and then they placed down a sentry mid. So,
Nice.
sick. Well played.
Well played. Well played.
But yeah, so interesting little movements too. It looks like Dendi is going to be playing out of the safe lane. They want to try and match him up against the Axe, and that means that it's going to be the Juggernaut Pycat playing mid. What do you think about this choice?
The battle
Oh,
begins.
geez.
Let me see how it fully plays out.
Yeah.
Because I think Vega Squadron's still gonna swap-a-roo things here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Troll matched up against Jug is fine. They're moving the Bristleback into the Timbersaw lane. I'm not sure how I feel. Early on, Bristleback can be okay because Timbersaw doesn't have a whole lot of armor. So he has to constantly do this reactive armor thing, and even then, you're able to get him with physical damage without actually hitting him. So early on, it can be okay, but once you start getting level 4 or 5, real difficult for Bristleback to have the same kind of laning phase impact that he would normally like to have.
Yeah, and well, we're seeing already some of that aggression, the back and forth coming out, and well, River also going to take some damage here as well. They are going to be able to burn through it and also tear him apart a little bit as well. So double strength heroes against Navi down here with Dendi having it. It's going to be a little bit of a chore. But mid lane, they go on to G. Gonna be able to draw first blood, but he is shackled underneath the tower and able to switch the aggro over. Seneko saving the life, but is it gonna be enough? Pycat alive, but oh my god, Silent hits pretty hard. He might just get a double here. He is gonna pop that clarity. Seneko needs to get a pop off on this, but he might actually just turn to break the clarity first and then take Roshan, but Rosh will do it. Silent also gets his clarity, and now the pull into Roshan for the creeps. This is a little bit awkward. Let's see this.
Yeah,
again.
Pycat, if you saw that, that should have been a clean win for Navi because Pycat switched the aggro to the Ogre, but then he switched it back to himself by clicking on Silent. When he attacked Silent, the aggro went back onto Pycat, and he took 2 shots from the tower, which ends up getting him killed. And now, because the Ogre suicides onto Roshan, Pycat just lost a wave. So he only just now picks up level 2, while G's has level 2.5. So that it starts off with a really good first blood and what should be a clean escape for Navi, but a little bit of misplays from the Navi side, and it actually turns against them.
Yeah. Well, 1-1, and as far as the lane is concerned, it's certainly worked out well for Afterlife up here. 14-1 versus the 8-0 so far of Mag. It's still kind of a little bit of a back and forth tug of war going on in mid lane, but maybe a little bit more into the favor of G since you've had the Ogre sitting here as well, and that's left the rest of the lanes a little bit more open.
Yeah, I think it's I think it is going to be a bit better for Vega Squadron as a whole, just because Axe needs the levels so badly. Bristleback, his farm is going to be harmed a little bit by having a matchup against Timbersaw, I think. I think Dendi might be dead. Dendi's dead.
Oh my god, they got him. Well
He
played.
didn't have any reactive armor stacks because he hadn't been hit by anything really for a while. It was just Train Protector banging on him. So that's only like 2 or 3 armor at a time, right?
Yeah.
So he's just like had all these quill stacks, and that's the way Bristleback needs to play it. He plays it out where he stacks up the quill spray on you as a Timbersaw, and you're going around. You're like, I've got reactive armor stacks. Woo, doesn't matter. You know, physical damage ain't shit to me. And then all of a sudden, you know, the fight draws out, and you haven't been hit for a while, and all of a sudden your reactive armor goes away, and then you've got like 6 quill stacks on you. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It actually hurts like a bitch. So this is how you have to play it. And the real you, Aloha Dance, is doing that beautifully.
Yeah, he is out of mana just about now, so gonna have to back out a little bit, but this is certainly a great start to it. And you pick this Timbersaw because you're expecting that you're gonna be able to have a good game against Dendi here. Well, not against Dendi, but the rest of the heroes. And so I don't know. I'm feeling like Navi certainly a little bit under the gun. They're gonna switch it up now and send the real you to the top lane. And that leaves a free lane for Dendi now.
And Afterlife is level 5, so he should have too much of a problem dealing with this bottom lane, because Timbersaw is only an active threat to you when he's got Chakra. So otherwise, Afterlife should be able to do okay.
Sineko in trouble, going to drop. They find that kill easy peasy. Silent is going to be there with the shackles, but just outside of range. Pycat will make his escape. So, yeah, Axe is going back in here to this bottom lane. I guess that they want to secure Bristleback a little bit more farm, and they feel like Axe is good enough to be able to either A, jungle, or push out the creep wave fast enough that Dendi can't really punish that too much. And so far, still very much a decent start for this for Vega. As far as rotations go, we have seen Silent be a little bit active. Do you think that he continues to maintain that and they start roaming around to find some kills at this point?
I don't know, maybe. They could smoke up right now with Afterlife. It used to be when we saw really early Tranquil Boots on Axes, is that they would do an early smoke and try and get a rotation with the extra movement speed that you had. Catch someone with the Berserker's Call. It was sort of like, I don't need Blink Dagger if I have, you know, this much movement speed on a rotation that goes unnoticed. It looks like he's just going to do it by himself. They're going to catch Pycat.
That was a little bit of a curious play. And now you do have not level 6 as of yet, but almost going to drop.
No.
Pycat barely getting out, still taking the damage from the Battle Hunger, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to bring him down. But Afterlife going to be punished. Can they get this kill? Shackles, good amount of damage. And one last pump from the Silent Shadow Shaman. We'll get that kill.
It was an excellent bait. Like, Afterlife fights the Juggernaut, Pycat goes ahead and spins. It's just like, didn't that happen in game 1 where he's spinning and all of a sudden he gets caught out by the Shadow Shaman rotation as the spin fades? But unfortunately, Afterlife didn't get enough counter helixes. Like, he just got unlucky. That's all there is to it. He had a full creep wave hitting him and he only got one spin on the Jug. So, unfortunate there. At least they still get the Ogre and he doesn't die for it, so his Vanguard timing is still going to be good.
Yeah. Oh, and that's pretty good. It is, again, maybe going to be a problem of having, like, limited mobility early, but I guess that maybe you feel okay with that right now, although Pycat moving forward, just going to spin right onto G's head and almost got juked out, but that's just going to be another kill. Pycat with the rotations in the jungle. But Silent? No, okay, not going to go for it.
A pre-level 6 rotation from a Juggernaut is pretty unusual to see, but it works well for Pycat simply because he finds the troll without phase boots. I think if the troll had phase boots in melee form, maybe he can get out of range. But unfortunately, no phase boots yet for our troll.
Well,
and as it is, Vega Squadron. I don't know. They gotta do something to help the troll out a little bit. Like the Bristleback. They rotated him to the safe lane, and that's great because Bristleback doesn't really have good comeback mechanisms. That's his biggest flaw. He's a mid-game dominator, and he controls the game so well, but if he has a bad start, he has a hard time coming back. So I like the fact that they're giving him space in the safe lane, but they do have to start using both the Bristleback and the Axe soon to make space for the Troll, because he is the true carry.
Yeah. Well, and you're going for double Vanguard here against a lot of damage that's coming out that's physical, but there's also a decent chunk of magical from Navi, and, you know, that's one of the ways that Jug can help to work in this way is pushing it out, as we do see a pick off there. Sineko going to drop to the Axe and Silent. But yeah, like double Vanguard, big, bulky, tanky guys, and then Troll there to clean up afterwards with taking damage onto the tower. So, interesting stuff. The thing that I'm kind of keeping my eye on, though, is that Dendi has been down here this whole time. Nobody's gone to mess with him, but Timbersaw's not going to take a tower by himself with tree armor going constantly.
Yeah, normally Timbersaw would be able to take this tower, right? Like, he would just tank and tank and tank, and he'd get a bigger and bigger creep wave, and eventually the creeps would essentially take the tower for him. But Treant Protector's doing a great job. Sioma Slayer has pulled the creep wave off of the tower while using living armor to protect the tier 1 against Dendi's right click. So this basically cuts off one of the big advantages of running Timbersaw in a strong 1v1 matchup. Is that normally, much like Terrorblade or some of these other heroes, or Abaddon is actually a better example, you're just able to have this constant impact in the lane until you take that tier 1. But Sioma is doing his best to counter that.
Yeah. And they will have answers for the Timber and in a little bit later stages of the game, like good lockdown from Silent, obviously, and Well, he is going to take a little bit of damage here from Dendy. No points in Timber Chain means the chase down is going to be hard. Byver trying to find the opening, but Silent is just back out again. And still playing dodge and duck. Their towers stand, and they're getting farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
See, what are they... I'm trying to think if they should rotate, because they both went Vanguard. Axe and Bristleback, that's fine. I'm just trying to think of which one of them like rotates bottom if they have an opportunity to kill Dendi. Or if either one of them can. Maybe they can't with reactive armor sitting at level 4.
Yeah. Maybe they just
don't.
don't.
Kind of chill out. Yeah.
Like, if you keep Axe holding the mid tower, if you keep Bristleback holding the top tower, they can only attack here. Like, it's not like they can go for Roche. And you just keep healing this. Is the getting into those mid-game items, is that going to be the timing? Or do you think that Vega are looking at that option?
Yeah, they're probably just waiting for their Blink Dagger timings. It seems they're not under much threat from the Navi side of things. Navi aren't really like aggressively smoking or pushing into anybody. They're not trying to threaten either one of these solo heroes.
Well, they have brought in one now, and the Glimpse is going to be back. Fiverr still getting chased through. They also brought in Afterlife, so, well, when they bring in one, they bring in all, and they've decided it's time to go and start pushing the tier 1 of their own in the bottom.
Yeah, there's finally enough damage on that tier 1. They wanted to be able to push the Timbersaw back and get the living armor heals. The problem is Navi's in a good position. Pycat was ready to push in mid as soon as they rotated bottom lane, and he's going to try and commit here to take this tier 1 tower because there were so many rotations. He's right. He will be able to get it without being interrupted by anybody. So, as a result, they may lose their safe lane tower, but you're always willing to trade a mid tower for a safe lane tower. Mid's just far more important.
Ooh. Dealing some damage to the real you as well. Then he's going to probably come back here and see if he can farm up these wards, I would imagine. But again, you need to be a little bit careful. The Quill Spray is going to keep on racking up, and as you mentioned earlier, reactive armor only staying at 8 right now. Yeah,
and he's going to lose those stacks soon, because those creeps that were hitting him earlier. Yeah, all of a sudden, boom, he goes down to 1, you know?
Yeah.
So, they do take that tower, but denied by Viver. Good play from the Disruptor. Otherwise, this seems to be kind of like a calm game. Both teams are like down to keep sort of a static laning phase and just trying to counter what the enemy team. Like, they countered the Timbersaw and his push at bottom, but in turn, the Juggernaut counters the rotation at bottom lane by taking big. It's a very slow back and forth until we have these Blink Daggers, which are coming up soon. Afterlife is city 1600 gold. You also have, once you have Solar Crest on Bristleback, he is, scary big. Well, Solar Crest is such a valuable item.
Top lane, they have used pretty much everything here, and it is going to be a kill onto the Axe. So the Blink Dagger reveal from General bears fruit, and that's a pretty big kill too. Blink Dagger, 800 gold away for the Axe.
Good job by Navi identifying the most important hero to gank. They could have ganked anybody, right? They could have smoked into the jungle and found Troll. They could have tried to kill the Bristleback and just roll a lot on him, burst him down. But I think the Axe's Blink Dagger is really the timing for Vega Squadron to be aggressive.
Oh, battle going on over here. Sineko going to be pulled back in. They get the overgrowth. Doesn't quite connect there on Biver, and Sineko is going to probably end up dropping here, I think. Well, and also, actually, Biver walking away. He has a TP off cooldown, 12 seconds. Are they really not going to get anybody?
He's got to find a little cubby hole to hide himself in.
Oh, no. Oh,
He's
no.
not gonna find it. No.
I don't even know if Aloha Dance knew that happened. But, all right, he finds the kill nonetheless.
Dendy's... Is he dead? Oh, he might be dead. Nice skewer from General, though. It actually protects Dendy, and they're going to be able to live because of that. Maybe even kill somebody or both.
Oh, the Omni Slash comes out. They take down one, and Afterlife still so close to that Blink, getting ran down. He is going to get the call, and unfortunately, no Blink Dagger right now is most likely to die as well. And Sineko even picks up one. My bad, I love that.
Yo, that's so cool, because if they kill the Axe at top lane and delay his Blink Dagger, because of that, they have a more successful rotation in mid lane, right? That beautiful skewer back prevents them from being able to get the spin and the finishing cooling blade on the Timbersaw. So as a result of them ganking top lane, they actually win mid lane as well. in that engagement. And now our Axe is sitting, like that one gank has turned into like a 5-minute delay on his Blink Dagger almost. He's still sitting at 1500 gold.
And look at this right here as well. They see that there's the Magnus in the area. They have this Sentry Ward that's down, and they might think about going for it. There's the skewer back, though, and actually, the Gankies become the Gankers, as Silent gonna get ran in. The RP is there with the Static Storm, and this might just be enough. He's still so tanky. The real you trying to continue this pressure now is gonna get out the Vicious Nasal Goo and tries to run down Pycat. They get the slow as well from the Troll, but Disruptor there to save the day.
Yeah, good backing out by Na'Vi, recognizing that Bristleback is not a hero that they can keep fighting even at half HP. So they just take the free pick off in the Shadow Shaman, call it a day. At this point, Aloha Dance would really like to be able to take that off lane tower of the Radiant side. It's almost dead, and it would, if he gets the last hit, it'd bring him very close to the Solar Crest. And that's where you get that huge minus armor for the Bristleback, the physical damage, as well as the defensive capabilities of you just can't die. Like you can't. There's just not enough magic damage in the world to be able to kill you. Because obviously, like, no physical is going to work, right? He's got Vanguard, he's going to have Solar Crest, so half of it's missing anyway. He's got a shit ton of armor, he's going to have his passive as well. So once he reaches that point, then, like, boom, Bristleback is set. Like, that is his established, like, you cannot fight me anymore for, like, 10, 15 minutes. And if you do, it's like, you have to throw everything at me. Yeah. So Vega Squadron will hit this window where they can try and be the aggressors once again. Really need that Blink Dagger on Afterlife, though, in combination with the Solar Crest. Yeah,
because that's the thing, like, is that it's great if you can, because I think that, like, with Timbersaw, if he threw his whole kit out just on the Bristleback, they probably find that kill. But then you have the Blink Dagger Axe to, like, break the combo or be, you know, go for a counter kill or whatever else, save a life. And if you do blow the whole load onto Bristleback, then suddenly you end up probably getting wiped as well. So yeah, it's a nice little thing that he would love to be able to pick up now. And also, Timbersaw not going back for any type of defensive item, just straight Bloodstone. This is also a little bit scary.
Yeah, I think he has to be honest. But it does mean he is still going to be susceptible to the physical damage of the Bristleback, because the offensive use of the Solar Crest pretty much cuts away reactive armor almost entirely. So, you know, I think Bloodstone is the choice that you always have to make. Like, that's the item you have to go, because that's how you get your mana regen. It allows you to be able to farm a lot better. But it is going to be a scary, like, 20-minute marker for Na'Vi. They have to pick and choose their team fights very well.
Okay. And again, ulti's up for pretty much everybody at this point. General has RP back off cooldown in 20 seconds. Again, it's just not really looking like they want to wait to take that fight. And Blink Dagger almost there for Afterlife. He is showing now, and, well, he's going to actually have enough for the Blink Dagger as well as the TP if he can go and finish off this creep camp. He doesn't have enough for it right now. Sioma, oh, maybe if he would have passed his TP over to Afterlife, because Afterlife can't actually be there. They don't have the
God,
axe.
maybe they can't kill him. Oh, Jesus.
All right, Axe is now coming in. He does have that blink, but there's the Omni Slash now down onto one. They're not been able to bring him down as of yet. They actually glimpse him away, and Afterlife doesn't end up finding a good catch, a call. It's not going to be enough. The RP, the Static Storm. Can they kill him off with the Chakram through it all? Dindy is there, and he takes down Axe as well.
Oh my God, that was such a beautiful play by Na'Vi in so many different ways. They're actually still going to try and chase down the Bristleback, but again, cut it out, guys. It's a Bristleback, don't chase it. That was a huge win for them. There were so many, like, misplays from Vega Squadron and just strong plays from Na'Vi. Highcat, like, barely avoided the call from the Axe, and then he instantly mantas off the Entangle to still stay ahead of the Axe. At this point in time, with the Aegis in hand, they can keep going. I think, like, they just play off of a Shrine, kind of regen up, and they can go for towers now with the Aegis. I would say without that extra life, I don't think you want to contest the bristleback axe combination, but maybe they can't. Maybe they can push for more objectives just simply because they're reaching a timing that they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Is that you talked about how strong the Bristleback is with Solar Crest, that they can fight with Axe Blink, and there's like this little window where the ultis are still on cooldown that they're going to try and exploit, and if they could find Dendy, this would be big for them. They are going to be able to get that call. They have the Shackles as well to follow it up. All of these different controlling techniques, but look at how tanky this guy is. They just can't bring him down. Pycat is there, no Omni Slash for another 20 seconds, and, well, they get the call. There's going to be another connection. They pull back one General onto him, but the Static Storm is also back up again. And now they've got under control the Bristleback. They came back with Pycat. Now they need to be careful, thinking about going for the ulti. Roots up 2. Can they find a kill onto these heroes? They don't want to focus down General, though, and the real you should be able to do it. Pycat has Omni Slash back up in 2 seconds. Thinks about going for it. Silent just gonna die. They get another call though. They're bringing them down low. Dendy goes through all of them. There is already the Omni Slash used. They buy back now on the Shaman, but Afterlife getting ran after. Giz gonna end up falling as well. Now they gotta get out of here, Vega. They're being controlled, being killed off. Pycat with the double. They're gonna pull back in this Bristleback. He still does a lot of damage.
I think you can actually beat him. Like, with the Solar Crest, Dendy's going to drop low enough that they can easily wipe him out with the physical damage. He only had 6 reactive armor stacks, and the Solar Crest cuts down 12 of the armor, so it was a small little turnaround there. Oh my god, are they going to go? Oh, okay, never mind. They're just going to try and pick up Silent. I thought they glimpsed back the Bristleback again. I was like, no, guys, haven't you learned your lesson by now? You can't fight him.
Oh, wow. Well, it ends up being kind of a tit-for-tat trade. The plus side is that you burn through the Aegis Vega have, but the downside is that you're losing your tier 1 tower, and they don't really show that many signs of wanting to back off.
I think the biggest mistake was made by Vega Squadron's side when they started that fight. Going on a Timber Saw with the heroes they had, like they need Bristleback. They need that Solar Crest if they're going to try and bring down that hero, because they've pretty much got only physical damage to rely on. They've only got Ether Shock that's magical. So if you're only having physical damage, then you need your biggest minus armor item to be able to fight. So the fact that they went on this Timber Saw for like 5-6 seconds without the Bristleback being there is the fatal mistake that cost Vega Squadron.
I'll take that.
I would say that fight, right? Like, I think they ended up on the losing side of that engagement. They burned down the Aegis, yes, but ultimately Navi still walk away with more gold, more experience, and a tower on top of that against a lineup that really can't fall behind. Again, a Bristleback is not a hero that they will make comebacks.
Oh man, MVP tree right there. They spot out the smoke gank coming in. Afterlife barely able to get the blink away as General was looking for the opening. So that 4-person smoke ganker is not going to end up bearing fruit, and Navi's still going to push the envelope here, trying to get that tier 1 tower. Afterlife?
I think Afterlife. I think he wants to TP rotate. I think he maybe wants his team to fight this one because he's going to be in such good position to catch them when they're pushing this tower. For example, if he gets like Biver, and he gets him in a decent call, and he's able to kill him outright with no Static Storm, then Vega Squadron can probably win this engagement.
Well, they'll take a moment to discuss it.
Magnus.
Yeah.
FPS issues in Dota? No way. I've never heard of that. Have you, Lyrical?
No, man, definitely not. I've been sitting.
It's certainly not with new patches, or definitely not with new heroes. I am astounded that could be an issue in Dota 2 in 2017.
I got a 1070, I got an i7, and I got 80 FPS. I don't know what's going on, but shit ain't right. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's okay. It happens. These things go on, and you know the other interesting thing is that every time there's one of these big moments where there's decision making to be made, that's when the FPS issues come up. I don't know.
It's okay. Surrection slacks apparently leaked that there's going to be a patch in a couple days. I think that's what somebody said.
Are people?
Or maybe it was just a joke from Slacks. You never know with that guy.
I know.
That guy's on. That guy's honestly on some next level troll shit. But you never know. You think like when he's off camera, like he'd be a more normal person or something.
No.
But no, it's always on, and you never know when he's being serious.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, even you never know ever. Courier ends up going down. My bad. Love it. Great. Piver's a little bit upset about this. Oh, Lord. Now I can't stop thinking about slacks. The hell?
Yeah, he's like a virus, man. He just gets into the brain. Okay, so Afterlife's gonna pop his head out and cut the creep way. Apparently, they're not wanting to contest this.
Okay.
Which is kind of sad to say, but it looks like they want to wait for BKB on Bristleback.
Yeah.
You should not have been in a position where you're giving up towers with this lineup in the first place. But they are reading like, okay, we're far enough behind that we need to recover. So.
Oh, and Afterlife now, he gets his Blink Dagger broken. Maybe gonna be able to dodge away and does get out. Good call by him. Does he choose the wrong way? Oh, he had him. Oh, General. That was close.
That was very close. An RP is well worth it to be able to catch just one core. But General probably didn't feel like he doesn't know how long that TP's been going on for. It's hard for him to judge if he's going to be able to use it. And maybe he can use it here to be able to catch G because G is really far forward.
What? All right. G is now about to die, and I don't know. I do not know.
I think he assumed because the Bristleback pushed out top and Mid's also pushing in that there would be rotations from Na'Vi to, some of these cores would go to other lanes. But is he only gonna die too? I thought he was good. No, he's
Dire's
good.
courier has been killed.
Well, they also left their courier up here on the high ground, which then gets taken down. So no couriers in this game, which is fine. Questionable. So 13-9. Navi still feeling like they're the ones that are control. You can see it's almost a 10,000 net worth lead. Right around a 6,000 experience. Next couple of minutes here. You've still got Roshan that's going to be up relatively soon. Maybe get some vision down there for both teams. Do you think that one team is more easily able to contest and fight it? Is the BKB on Bristle all that they need now?
Navi are significantly ahead in net worth that I would say they have the advantage for the team fight, but Vega Squadron still has a decent chance. They farmed up their BKB in time to be able to contest this Roshan, and I think that's kind of what they're banking the game on. And failing that, Vega Squadron also can sneak Roshan better because they have a troll who can do solo. So it's like the 5-on-5 is probably favorable for Navi, but everything else is better for Vega.
Ooh. Well, this is a decent way to start it off. Get a nice little catch here onto the Ogre. That's going to end up dunking himself, but no real problem there. And Silent can end up getting caught and killed. So they do trade 1-for-1. Now looking to see if he can catch up with Afterlife, but he is already far out and away.
It's not just a 1v1, right? It's forced rotations from Navi. So like G, he felt comfortable pushing mid. He's going to rotate to maybe bottom, maybe the Radiant jungle, maybe not. But that's space for him to farm. That's ultimately what he needs, because if they can get both the BKB for Bristleback and for Troll for the next Roshan fight, then maybe the power swings back in the favor of Vega. Despite a gold advantage for Navi that is quite significant, maybe just because of the BKBs, it's better for Vega Squadron 5-on-5.
And certainly finding a big fight here could end up turning and making all the difference as well. You have a jump up on the Timbersaw yet again. They do have the Solar Crest this time, but he's still able to make a quick escape. Getting body blocked by his buddy, but Dendy forced to go for the deny. They might be able to make something of this nonetheless. The real U gets caught. PKB has already been popped. They do still have Omni Slash if they want to try and turn this, but Solar Crest coming out. Biver just going to be eliminated here. Look at the amount of damage that's coming out. They do have the Fire Blast now, but they just can't do anything.
I'm not going to lie. If I was a Aloha Dance, I would have pussied out there. I would have been like, no, I'm not going to chase 4 heroes to get a support. That's too risky. But he trusted his team. His team was making the rotations. He also trusted his own tankiness. He knew he's going to get that kill, and then he's going to turn around. And if Navi go on him with, him facing the opposite direction, then he'll easily survive long enough for Afterlife to counter-initiate and for the Troll to come in and clean up. So just makes a good read of the situation. Nothing significant is going to come out of it, though. Just a little bit more time for G. That's all these things are. It's just more time for G to farm.
Yeah. And he is getting closer. They actually get the call now onto General. again, just completely eviscerated. He will be back up, I believe, by the time Roshan respawns. So a little bit fortuitous there for Na'Vi that they're going to have their mag back up. And instead, it's just going to be a movement in towards the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Dendi, he misses his chain, and they do have the Solar Crest there on him from the Ogre, but I don't know if it's going to end up being enough. They're pulling her back into the fight. There's going to be the Solar Crest, but he does manage to get out. A really big catch. Do they have enough damage? They're trying to bring down the Ryu Aloha and Sandy Tall in this one, but they haven't killed off any of them. Mag is still dead. No buyback for him. The damage is starting to rack up from all of these Quill Spray, but Silent being controlled. He's actually standing up against that one. Wasn't quite able to do enough. Another mischange, but Afterlife is going to be brought down, and Bristleback going to back out as well. So they end up taking that fight. Not able to do enough damage. No BKB on Troll ends up making the difference, I think.
Yeah, with the counter Solar Crest now on the Ogre Magi, Dendi retains his tankiness that he used to have, you know? Like, they had this window where they had a Solar Crest and they could cut down this Timber Saw really quickly, but now with the counter Solar Crest, it makes a big difference, and Vega Squadron just like took a fight they didn't need to take. With the Magnus down, unfortunately Roshan wasn't up, but they could have at least taken that tier 1 tower and set up for Roshan. But now, after an overextension, it's Na'Vi who are the ones who are able to take a tower and a Rosh.
God, that's so, like, as soon as they walk into the pit, it spawns. And you do still have a ability to fight this. It's not easy, and it's going down so quickly. I don't think they can get here in time. Oh, they're TPing in, but it's already gone. All right. General, lift up on the Yule Scepter. Does have the Skewer back. Doesn't quite connect, though. And now, General's taking some more damage. They do have the Kinetic Field out. Can they do any more? Looking for the opening. Pull back again. There's going to be the call onto one. They're starting to bring them low. They've already popped the Battle Trance, but there's going to be the Omni Slash down onto him as well. Actually, just the Manta style that ended up getting popping, but now they got control over Timber Saw as well. They're trying to kill off Dendi. The Static Storm is down onto 2 in General, pulling back into the Skewer. They catch onto 2 of them. There's not enough damage. They have now found it, though, with the Omni Slash finally committed. Afterlife starting to follow as well as the Ryu. They've got more than enough. They are going down. Oh my god, they all ended up dying to the Quill Spray. But Na'Vi win the fight, retain the Aegis.
I think they forced that fight because they knew Healing Ward was down, but they were still fighting into an Aegis, and again, they targeted Dendi. Like, they should have learned their lesson from last time. There is a counter Solar Crest. You also have a Lotus Orb on Dendi. Hell, he actually has a value plate mail on top of that, where he can go for, like, Shivas later on. He also has a Medallion of Courage, so just because you have some minus armor that used to work against this Timber Saw doesn't mean you can rely on that anymore. Like, Dendi is just, you cannot focus him down. You're just going to throw away too much of your damage into a hero that's just never going to live through it. And now, I think the game's over. Like, I don't think Vega Squadron can make a timely recovery on their Troll. He's just too far behind to become a carry for this game.
God, really rough. And again, these little moments here, God Afterlife just hasn't been able to. I mean, they've all been doing a good job, I think. Everybody from Vega has been making that right play, but like you said, maybe it's the target prioritization that's the biggest deal. And also just the Troll Warlord, who feels like he's just perpetually been almost at that BKB, but not quite there. And now G, I believe, about to be picked off again. They have the glimpse to pull him back in. They shackle up Dendi, but they have the Static Storm down, and they're just going to punch to death and kill him off.
It's going to be one lane of ranks. Looks like it's going to be 2 lanes of ranks with 60 seconds on the clock. I think it was just Vega Squadron, to me, just don't look like the stronger team. You know, they just made too many mistakes in this game. I think one of the biggest potential turning points that they missed was the Timber Saw in top lane and not having the Bristle back there. But they could actually kill the Timber Saw with their disables. Then take the team fight that would have ensued afterwards, and get that, then they could actually win this game.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's the thing. Too far like, you can, if you're at that point where you can just take down the Bristleback like that, they're gonna get the RP. Oh no! Everybody is dead, and GG is called. Na'Vi are gonna knock Vega Squadron out of there and move on to face the final boss, Secret, in the grand finals.
That should be exciting. It's Na'Vi versus Secret.